Hey everybody, my name is Cailee. I'm 26 years old and from small town Oklahoma. I have an amazing, beautiful, precious, incredible, almost 5-month-old son. His name is Judah Ezekiel, and he is by far my biggest blessing and greatest joy. I just accepted a position as family advocate for the Head Start program here in the county that I live in. I'm super excited, a little bit nervous about learning how to navigate motherhood and work and school, but I enjoy a challenge. As far as ministry involvement, I don't have really any right now, not because I don't want to, but I moved back to Oklahoma right before COVID happened, so I was not able to get really involved or plugged in. But as far as my future goals for ministry, God has really given me a heart for just broken and hurting people that has been birthed out of my own experiences and my own pain. July 1st, I will have 3 years clean. I'm a recovering addict. Struggled for many years with self-injury and depression, substance abuse, and I am a suicide attempt survivor. So God has brought me out of a lot. He's delivered me out of a lot and redeemed me. So I can't keep that to myself. I know that He has a plan and a purpose. I want to help pull others out of the darkness. I want to share the hope that He has given. I don't know what that's going to look like quite yet, but I'm available to Him. I'm following after Him, listening for Him. So wherever He puts me, I am open to being. When I think about the questions, the first one is, what is a Christian leader? I think of somebody who ultimately is following after Jesus as they're leading others, someone who is looking to Him and depending on Him for guidance, who's, not relying on their own strength or pulling from the world, but is literally just following hard after Jesus, listening to what He says. I think of servant leadership, humbling yourself and walking through life with other people. Christian leaders are not perfect. They have struggles just like the rest of us, but I think it's seeing how they live out a godly life in the midst of that, and just represent Him in the midst of that speaks volumes. When thinking about the difference between leadership and Christian leadership, a lot of times leadership, I think, at least in my mind, I think of a boss or somebody with power and authority. Whereas a Christian leader is, like I said, that servant leader, somebody who's humbling themselves, somebody who is putting others' needs above their own. That they're not in it for the money. They're not in it for the reputation or the clout or the power. They are literally in it to see Jesus change lives and to be a part of that. Success for a leader versus success for a Christian leader. For a leader, it is, oftentimes about the reputation or the money, whereas for a Christian leader, it's about, are the people that I'm leading, are they following hard after Jesus? Are they leading others? Are they living a godly life? So, for one, I think it's, for leaders, it's about kind of worldly, material success, whereas for a Christian leader, it's about, eternal salvation for souls, and it's about, just seeing people living for Jesus. And then when thinking about biblical passages that kind of give me an understanding of what a leader is or should be, I found a couple, so I'm just going to paraphrase, but one that really stuck out to me is Titus 1:7, where it talks about a church leader as a manager of God's household, that they are to live a blameless life and to not be arrogant. And, again, Christian leaders are not perfect. They have their own struggles and imperfections, but recognizing that you are a steward of God's church, of His people, and that you are living a life to represent Him. That's, when I think of a Christian leader, I think of that, of just knowing what God has entrusted you with and taking care of that. And then the other one was in Matthew 20:26, where it says, that Christian leaders, among you, it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader has to be a servant. And again, there's that servant leadership of serving others and putting others' needs above your own. And then the question about what questions we might have, for me, I think, it's how do we, in today's climate and in today's world, how do we as Christian leaders, how can we be in the world but not of it? How can we love people right where they're at and have empathy, but not step on the side of, seeking to please men and not God? I think that would be my biggest question. So I'm excited to be in this class with you guys, to learn alongside and from y'all.